In this video, we will explain the most important contents of the book Rich Dad and Poor Dad. This book by Robert Kiyosaki is one of the most important books that deal with and presented information that poor parents do not provide to their children, because it is the information that rich parents provide to their children, as it is likely that the origins of the writer belong to Japan even though he was born on the island of Hawaii, as we mentioned earlier, as his book compared the lives of the poor and the rich, and followed the method of exclamation in presenting ideas, in addition to a large amount of information, and presented many ideas that he considered tips, the most important of which are, that all rich people aim for work not money, and all the poor turn away from the adventures that are the basis of success, and that the poor motivate their children to get jobs that the book described as a mouse maze. Summary of the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. The book talks about the importance of financial independence and how to build wealth, by clarifying the mechanisms of investing and owning assets, in addition to the most important ways to start commercial projects. What is striking in the book is Kiyosaki's method of presenting issues in the form of stories that symbolize the meaning of these issues, which are in their origin real events that passed in his life. The following are the most important chapters of the book, which are as follows. In the first chapter of the book, Kiyosaki talked about his childhood, as he had a poor father and a rich father. His real father is a poor who works as a university professor, and the second is the father of his rich friend, a businessman with low education. The child who is the writer listens to the advice of his father and the father of his friend and compares. His father he was advising a stable job that secures the minimum amount of poverty and fear of it, while a rich father teaches him how to grow money and achieve wealth. In the second chapter of the book, Kiyosaki talked about understanding risk and its link to wealth. Their lives, they may discover this mistake as the writer considers it, but it is too late, as the writer indicates at the end of the chapter that the poor seek money, while money seeks for the rich. Kiyosaki spoke in the third chapter of the book about financial culture, in which he indicated that the important thing is the amount of money that you want to work for you and not the amount of what you earn in your life. So consider the class of employees who suffer not because of not getting money, but because they spend what they get from money. In the fourth chapter, Kiyosaki talked about thinking and caring for work, as he considered that there is a difference between a job and work. In addition to his job, when his business grew and he invested his money, he left his job and focused on his work. In chapter 5, Kiyosaki talked about the history of taxation and corporate power, in which he said that the difference between the rich and the poor employees concerning taxes is that the rich get money and spend it according to their mood and then pay the taxes, while the employees get the money and pay the taxes and then spend the rest of their money. Kiyosaki spoke in the sixth chapter about money, and that it was the rich who invented money, and he called it financial intelligence that provides more than one opportunity that must be exploited when it comes, which is what the writer meant by financial intelligence. Kiyosaki spoke in the seventh chapter about the lessons of work and employment for the sake of learning and not for the sake of money, as the writer refers to the necessity of developing the mind and knowing a little about all things. Who will bring the money and not the money itself? In chapter 8, Kiyosaki talked about how to overcome obstacles to success by overcoming fear of loss, pessimism, laziness, bad habits, and vanity. In the ninth chapter, Kiyosaki talked about 10 steps that can develop financial intelligence and obtain wealth, noting the importance of the strength of spirit and faith, the strength of choice, and the strength of the relationship by being careful to choose friends and many others. In the 10th and final chapter, Kiyosaki talks about people and their reactions to his book, and what solutions will help them improve their lives. The most important investment rules dealt with in the book mentioned in its third chapter are the basic investment rules that it is recommended to start learning from a young age instead of wasting time and reaching them after it is too late, and they are as follows. Income quality. It is either income earned from a profession or a job, through which it is difficult to achieve wealth, since humans are naturally adapting their expenses to this income, or investment income through investment portfolios, and finally passive income, in which a person earns money through the sale of real estate and others. Income investing, in which the earned income is converted into passive income or investment portfolios, and in this investment, the salary is transferred to increase the assets. The investor is the asset. That is, he has the education and experience in addition to the liquidity and assesses the risks of his investment. Prepare for risks. That is, for future events, whatever they may be. Many regretted the opportunities they did not seize in buying real estate that was in the thousands of dinars, and today they are in the millions, Trying to get money means, if you don't have the money to take an opportunity, look for it through others. Assessment of risks and returns. In it, the investor must be aware of the positive relationship between risks and returns, and the ability to secure the minimum amount of money to live without affecting the investment.